Hey nerds, and welcome back to Questline. My name is Mousefat,
And I'm Wade Wilson.
and you are finally wearing pants.
I am. I'm wearing pants. See?
Yeah.
Thanks to $6shirts.com.
And I'm, being a rocket surgeon.
Yeah. Practicing rocket surgery.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's jump right on into this. Let's go with the Facebook feed.
Well, actually, I'm going to go ahead and talk about how this is a special Star Wars edition.
Star Wars!
We decided that May the 4th be with you, Revenge of the 5th, just wasn't enough. So we're going to make a full Star Wars week that started on Sunday for World of Nerddom. I know that we said that we would have a special Monday edition released yesterday. His schedule didn't coincide with my schedule. He got called into work. I got called into work. We couldn't get together and make it happen. But we are doing this today, and I'm sorry we're releasing this on Wednesday, but shit happens.
Just work week.
Yeah.
It's bad juju.
Yeah. Facebook, we're going to start with Tuesday.
Which was point and click with me. Yay! Alright, so keeping with the Star Wars theme, I decided my point and click this week should be over Star Wars Online, which was a really, really cool MMO that came out and is now free to play. It wasn't when it first came out, and me and Wade here both played it for a little while while it was still in its new phase.
Yeah, we couldn't afford to continue to play with him playing Warcraft and us both playing.
Yeah,
with us both playing Star Wars Online. $45 a month for gaming was not feasible at the time, so we ended up having to drop that because his Warcraft edition wouldn't allow us to both play another game together.
Right. But it was pretty cool, and it did have some great graphics and some great. It was basically WoW Star Age.
Yeah.
So it was really cool.
Yeah. Monday's Treasure Hunter's Log. Nathan Drake made his triumphant return.
Yeah.
And he did sharing nerdy interests with your significant other. That was a really good post. Hit close to home because he basically called people out on their shit, and that was really cool. Props to you, Nathan Drake, for saying what most people don't really have the balls to say. Sunday was Weekly Booty. It was the first installment of the. Stop with the booty already.
It's so funny.
It was the first installment. It was on May the 4th. It was the first installment of the Star Wars related themes that you're going to get from each person this week. Tomorrow or today's, when we release this, today will be my post, and I will be posting about Star Wars. But it's all started on Sunday with Lady Part Larry's Weekly Booty. She's basically asked you to come to the dark side because they have cookies. And then Monday, she proved it. The Death Star had a cookie jar. So it was really cool. She went all into detail about how her and her little man love to watch Star Wars together. And that's something that me and Kidpool also share. That was really cool, except her little man is a little bit older than Kidpool, and he actually carries on conversations about it.
Yeah.
So, really cool. Again, Saturday, we don't have an admin for Saturday. I doubt we'll ever have another admin to post on Saturday. So, if you're missing a post on Saturday, I'm sorry, but most of the posts that we do are done on the weekends anyway. So, we didn't really figure that you would miss it. So, again, we're moving to Fashion Fandom Friday by District 12 Divergent. And we heard on Friday about the passing of Bob Hoskins.
Sad day.
That was sad for everybody. You know, I know that I tend to get emotional about people when they pass, like I did with the Ultimate Warrior. But Bob Hoskins, man, that dude was he was awesome. He was in my favorite all-time movie growing up, which is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I watched that movie all the time. I got pretty close to that character because of the role that he ended up playing in that movie. He was also in another one of my favorite movies, and I know it's really up there higher on Mousepad's top list of his favorite movies, and that's Hook. He was Smee in Hook. Really, he was 71, So you can't really say that he went too soon. But most actors, tend to live longer. You notice that unless they really have drug problems.
Right.
And I don't think that Bob Hoskins ever really had that kind of problem. I think it shocked everybody. But Fashion Panda Friday was all about recreating those two favorite characters, Eddie Valiant and Smee. Good job from District 12 Diversion to throw that together as quick as she did. Thursday was Buffy and Angelis' co-hosted post. It was Buffy's turn, and she went over one of her favorite video game franchises of all time, and that was Tomb Raider. And I get it. I've never really played them, but I see the appeal in them. I know that I'm a huge Uncharted fan, but Uncharted came out when I was really getting into gaming, and Tomb Raider had been out.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the same thing, the reason why I'm not really into Metal Gear Solid like I probably ought to be, because I was really getting into gaming at a time that series had been out forever. So Tomb Raider, like I said, I understand it. I don't see myself getting into it because of how late in the game I'd be getting into it. But I know that they did just do like a prequel release with that new Tomb Raider. I may play that. But Buffy, great post. And I love how you went on having a female character break ground like Lara Croft did. So a good post. Deadpool's Domain last week was all about the page changes. And the reason that I went into these page changes was mainly because of last week's Questline, where I went on a rant and I felt like a total asshole for cussing like I did. Knowing that I had created this page to try to steer clear of that, but then I started looking at the insights, and the insights is just something that admins can look at when they're looking at the Facebook page to see what kind of audience they have. And 96%, I think, of the audience is over the age of 18. We're all adults. You can cuss because we all are adults here. So I made the changes to the page to allow curse words, but not to an extent where we are cussing just for shock value. But we will steer clear of the nudity and things like that. There are a lot of pages tend to stick around just to set ourselves apart. I think we set ourselves apart with these videos, with the posts that we do every day and things like that. But cuss words, I mean, come on. If I ever say anything that you haven't heard before on TV, you don't watch enough HBO. So,
wow. Nice.
So, these videos will now have cussing where I don't feel like I'm breaking a golden rule. In the posts, they'll have it. But again, I'm not going to sit here and drop F-bombs left and right. If I feel like the word fits, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to censor myself anymore. Move on to the nerdy movie, dude. This is all you, except I am a huge Star Wars fan as well, but I'm going to let you have this one, though.
Alright, guys. The nerdy movie this week is Star Wars. And I want to first go over the first three movies, which was actually episodes 4, 5, and 6, because I feel that they were the better ones. And I'm not just saying that, just jumping on the bandwagon, saying every nerd says that the first three movies were so much better than the second three. But what I'm saying is that as far as storyline is concerned, the first three movies had so much that was in it that you literally had to watch them over again, at least once, maybe twice, to catch everything. And it was geared toward a certain audience at the time. It was geared toward, the 20 to 25 range that really went to the movies at that time, during that time frame, just to see the cool special effects. And there were cool special effects.
Yeah, the special effects were groundbreaking at the time. And I would say that, like Kidpool, when he watches these movies with us, that these movies appeal to nerd at every age because of the wow, pretty lights, sounds, music, things like that. But the storylines, I agree with you as far as 4, 5, and 6 having the better storylines. But 1, 2, and 3 also tied in quite a bit of the backstory, dude.
They did. They gave us a lot of backstory, and they gave us a lot of insight as to who the Darth Vader character really is and why he made the choices
Yeah,
that he did.
and I think that's a major issue, honestly, because it seems like they saw how popular Darth Vader was in those movies, and the first 3 movies, the first 3 episodes, 1, 2, and 3, were all about Darth Vader, and that's while he was an integral part in starting the wars and everything, but I mean, they really should have focused more on Count Dooku and the Emperor as well.
I agree.
But I mean, it was all about Anakin. Anakin this. Oh, teen angst. Oh, I love you. Oh my gosh, and I can't stand the fact that I got betrayed. But
there was so much in those second set of movies that should not have been there.
Yeah, but they were good movies.
The whole, frolicking in the field in the second movie was pointless to me, to be honest with you. I mean, it showed that Anakin and Padme were falling in love and all of that, and that's great. They could have done that in a much shorter capacity, and if they had just gotten married, everybody would have been okay with that, because everybody knew that was where it was going. They didn't have to continue to show
it. It was a forbidden love, dude.
It was a forbidden love.
So let me ask you this. What were the saving points of the first 3 movies?
To me, I think the saving points were actually from just the overall conflict being explained and getting more and more heat. Such as like from, say, we'll take the first movie there. The conflict between the Trade Federation and the planet of Naboo. And the whole, I have to go to the Senate now to ask the Senate permission to defend my planet.
Well, because they were part of the Federation of Planets, dude.
Yeah, and the Trade Federation was part of that as well. And so they were trying to figure out, okay, so if I'm being invaded here by somebody who's got nothing but machines as their army, and I'm sitting here with just a handful of foot soldiers and a couple of pilots, I'm just like, okay, I have no way to defend my planet.
Well, let's not discuss this now.
Yeah.
What I was asking you is, what were the saving points of the first 3 movies? Just that for you?
I think that the saving points were the conflicts.
Okay. I think the saving points were Darth Maul. That was a great character. He should not have been killed off in the first movie. No way.
No.
Qui-Gon Jinn, again, great character, should not have been killed off in the first movie. But I think the first 3 movie saving points were 2 things. All 3 movies were Yoda kicks ass and Sam Jackson.
I agree.
I think that those 2 characters, Yoda, you're getting to see Yoda as what he was, really ties into, okay, this is why he was so awesome in the first 3 movies, as far as 4, 5, and 6 go.
Right.
And why he was sought out by Obi-Wan. And Sam Jackson's character, Mace Windu, where he rides that line of, is he a Jedi or is he a Sith, I think really shows you, okay, this character was built for Sam Jackson, and we all know it was.
Right.
We all know it was, but it shows you why Sam Jackson wanted a character like that. And to this day, Mace Windu is one of my favorite Jedis.
Absolutely.
Just because it was overall badassery.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up the movie section here, because we're getting into the discuss this part.
Yeah.
And we don't want to hit that just yet. First off, we're going to go ahead and send it over to Angela's for the game releases, and go there.
Alright, thanks Wade, thanks Mousepad. So we're here with the video game releases this week, and there's actually a lot of good releases this week. This is one of the better weeks that I've had to do since I've been doing the game releases. So first off, the biggest thing releasing this week, in my opinion, is the Borderlands 2 Vita bundle. So you can't get Borderlands 2 standalone until next week, but this week it's going to release an limited edition Vita bundle where you get an 8GB memory card, Borderlands 2 with 6 of the DLCs on the Vita, and then the Vita for $200. So if you don't have a Vita, definitely now's the time to pick it up. If you do and you want Borderlands 2, you're going to have to wait till next week to get it digital and retail. The other big release this week is for the PS4, which is MLB 14 The Show. So it's already out on Vita and PS3, but it's finally getting its PS4 release. Definitely excited about that. I don't know how many sports fans are out there, but I know Wade and I are both excited about that one. So after that, there's a couple other really good games releasing. God of War Collection is coming out on the Vita, which is God of War 1 and 2. I think they may do an Origins Collection if this one sells well enough. They remapped the controls for the Vita as well, so there's probably some touchscreen and things like that involved. So that's pretty cool. That's going to be digital and retail. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 on Xbox One, it was already out on every other console. Wii U, PS3, PS4. For some reason, the Xbox One release got delayed, but it's coming out this week on the 8th. The next one that we have is Bound by Flame, which is coming out on PS3, PS4, and Xbox 360. And it's like a darker RPG that's about survival. So it's basically there's not many people left in the world. I watched a couple videos of it. It looks really interesting. After that, we have Broken Sword 5, which is digital on the Vita. Not very interested in that. Not sure how many fans of that series. It's not a very well-selling series, but it's pretty cool that they're bringing it over, and that's going to be a digital download. Football Manager Classic 2014, which is going to be digital on the Vita. After that, a new release on PS3 and PS4 called Sports Friends, which is kind of like a party sports game. None of the typical games. It's all new games that they created just for that. Looks pretty cool. After that, we have Stick It to the Man on PS4 and Wii U. That was already out on PS3 and Vita and a few other consoles, but now the Wii U and the PS4 release comes out this week. And another one is we have Titan Attacks on PS4, PS3, and Vita, and that's cross-buy, and that's digital only. So once you buy it on one of them, you get it on all of them, and that's an arcade shooter. Looks really intense. I'm a huge fan of arcade shooters. That looks really cool. Lastly, the game that I can't pronounce. So this is a visual novel game. Looks great. I think it's Hakoku or Hakoki. Stories of the Sensugimi. Not even close, probably, but you can look it up. It's coming out on the PS3. It's digital and retail, and it actually looks really interesting. It's similar to Record of Agaris War, but it's more geared towards the female gamer, but still not enough where male gamers can't enjoy it. So it's kind of an in-between, but definitely more of the female gamer in mind. The special edition had like a hair comb and some other cool stuff in it. Definitely look into it if you're big on RPGs or visual novel type games, because it kind of has both aspects in it. That's it for the game releases this week, but it's a pretty good week. Borderlands 2 on the Vita and MLB 14 on the PS4. It's big releases. Now for the featured game of the week. This week I'm going to do a digital title, which is going to be Star Wars Pinball. And I'm not listing a console because that thing's on pretty much everything. You can get it on iPhone, Android, Vita, PS3, Xbox. I mean, it's on pretty much everything. I think it's even on the 3DS now. So you can get it on any console. If you own a device, you can probably buy this game. And it's fantastic. So you originally get 3 tables with it. Then there's a second table pack with 3 tables. And they just released a final table pack which has 4 in it. So there's 10 tables in total. Right now on the PlayStation Network, the original game and the first table pack are on sale for $5 each instead of 10. So for $10 you can get 6 of the tables. The newest table pack that just came out has like a C-3PO and R2-D2 table. That looks awesome. But it's based on the whole franchise. So it has tables from the old movies, the Clone Wars, has tables from pretty much everything in there. There's a Han Solo table in the new pack. So there's a lot of cool things. Definitely worth checking out. If you liked Marvel Pinball or the Zen Pinball series, then you'll definitely love these games. That's it. That's all I have for this week. I'll go ahead and send it back to Wade and Mousepad.
All right, man. Thanks, Angelus. Looking forward to those games, dude. First off, I want to mention that the fan art, we didn't get any this week. I don't see us ever getting any again as far as fan art goes, because we ask and we ask and we ask, and with the Facebook reach being the shit that it is, we're not able to get the message out there to all 3,000 fans to send it in. Not enough people watch these videos, again, because the Facebook reach doesn't get it out there to let you know we have a new Questline out. We've got all of 12 subscribers on YouTube, so those are usually the only ones that really see these videos, other than the 10 or 20 that get to see the post about it. So the fan art, I think we're going to just drop it. We'll put it in there if we do get something.
Absolutely.
But we're not going to make it a weekly feature. So to discuss this, we had two options here about what we wanted to discuss because of this huge Star Wars nerds that we are.
And we couldn't decide.
We couldn't decide. So you're going to get a bonus. We're going to do two topics.
Two topics on
We're going to try to keep them short, and I'm going to try to not give Mousepad a black eye. If it happens, hey, violence in the Questline videos.
Yeah, there's that rated R vert.
Yeah. Let's do the. Let's not do this one first.
Okay, we'll do the second one first.
Okay.
The second one that we had, our second option was, is Jar Jar Binks the worst character idea in the Star Wars franchise?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I have to take the point of, no, he was not the worst idea in the franchise. Granted, he was annoying as hell. But I think he was a necessary evil.
I think that the character was necessary because they needed to introduce the new aliens in a way that made sense. So when we went to, the underwater alien race and met Boss Nass, there was a reason that they had to have Jar Jar Binks to get him there. You had to have the exiled character to tie in to get the whole movie started rolling.
And it
should have ended there.
I'll agree.
He should not have tagged along.
I think that him tagging along, though, was necessary for the storyline to progress, because you can't have a full serious story. Okay? If you have nothing but a serious story, then you change from being a sci-fi fantasy into a sci-fi drama.
Did you really just use the words serious and Jar Jar Binks in the same sentence?
No, I never said Jar Jar, but yes.
Did you really just refer to the Jar Jar Binks character as being something to make the movie serious?
No, I was referring to him as something to not make the movie serious. Okay? What I'm saying, though, is that Jar Jar was there to break up the seriousness.
Okay, so you're saying that Jar Jar Binks, it was to the first three movies as Han Solo was to the second three.
Agreed. Exactly. And the reason I'm saying that is because you have to have the comic relief there.
You are a fucking idiot.
Do not even start.
Dude,
don't even start.
Dude, Jar Jar Binks was great, okay, for the first 10 minutes. Okay? For the first 10 minutes. But you should have left his ass there.
No, you shouldn't.
There was no... He would not have been as annoying. I could take him in the small dose. Misa ba 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 for 10 minutes. I can't take Misa ba 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 for 3 fucking hours, dude.
Alright, so, but Jar Jar was there, and I think that he was necessary there to progress. And his stupidity, being what it was, his annoyingness.
I will give you this. When he got his tongue zapped on the pod, I laughed. You know why? Because I knew
that he wasn't going to.
Maybe he's not going to talk for a while, and then he goes and you're like, why do you have to stop? Why do you have to keep talking?
Because
just shut up.
Because that's his character. He has to keep talking. He has to.
Okay. Before I give you a black eye, let's move on to this next one where I will give you a black eye.
Oh shit! Here we go. The next one.
This question has been brought up on the page before.
And it was brought up by me.
But this is when the page only had like 100 people that were fans of it. Okay, so I know that we're probably only going to get 100 people with this because the Facebook reach, again, I will preach about that until it fucking changes. But what we're going to do is we're going to do this again. Hopefully not the same 100 people see this. and maybe we'll get a little bit of engagement here.
I'm hoping so.
The question is,
what makes the Empire evil? Now, the reason I even bring this up is because without the Rebels, without the Rebel Alliance, the whole story with the second series, 5, 6, and 7, or I'm sorry, 4, 5, and 6, would be a whole lot different. Like, the things that make the Empire evil are just the ways that they have to deal with the Rebel Alliance. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, they had to blow up Alderaan. Yeah, that was evil. But they only did it to get Leia to cooperate so that Leia would freaking give up their Rebel base.
Leia cooperated and they blew it up anyway.
Yeah, but Leia gave him a false answer, and he knew it because he's a freaking Sith. He can tell.
And did it work?
They still blew it up.
Did it work? Did blowing up Alderaan work? Did she still give up the information?
Nope.
Okay. So that's what makes them evil.
It was part of her torture, though. It was part of her torture.
Okay, let's blow up your whole planet. Let's leave you nothing to hope for anymore. And let's see if you give up the information now that you really have nothing to live for.
Pretty much. I'll agree that they went about it the wrong way. However, that was only to get rid of the Rebel Alliance. Now, if the Rebel Alliance didn't exist, would they have blown up Alderaan?
If the Rebel Alliance didn't exist, then what? Then
what were they rebelling against?
The Empire wouldn't exist if the Rebel Alliance didn't exist.
What were they rebelling against?
Against the Empire.
For what purpose?
Because they were evil.
How? They hadn't done anything.
1, 2, and 3 were all about the Clone Wars that was started by the fucking Empire. They were cloning warriors, cloning soldiers to go and destroy planets.
No.
They were building an army.
They were building an army to face the droid army. That was originally the plan of the clones. Because they knew that the droids were going to rise. They knew the Trade Federation was going to rise again and start invading shit again. So they needed an army to back that up.
Let me ask you this. Why was the rebellion rebelling against the Empire anyway when the Empire is basically nothing but stormtroopers and they can't hit a damn broadside of a barn anyway? Where's the danger? There isn't any. But anyway, my problem is that you don't see how they are evil when you've seen the episodes 1, 2, and 3 showing how evil they are, showing how manipulative they are.
And going from the reverse side of that, though, I mean, take Palpatine, for example, the Emperor. Okay?
Yeah, let's take the most evil character and you tell me how he's not evil.
Let's take the Sith Lord there. Okay? He's thinking the exact same thing that the Jedi were thinking about him, about the Jedi. He's thinking that the Jedi are so manipulative that they are taking these people and making them guardians of the galaxy and peacekeepers, when in all actuality they're making their own agenda. And they're fulfilling their own agenda. Okay? They went out and wiped out the Sith just because they were Sith. But not because they were evil. Because they weren't inherently evil until the Jedi started saying, oh, these guys are evil, and everybody believes the Jedi.
Mousepad. Dude.
Alright, hang on. I'm ready for it right here.
I'm not going to punch you in the eye. They are evil because they choose to follow the dark side of the Force.
What makes the dark side evil?
Killing, lightning, number 1. Number 2, it's using the powers to do evil things like murder.
Okay.
Okay? The Jedi only kill to defend the good. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Emperor Palpatine is a manipulative sumbitch. He's the one that turned Anakin on his own wife to kill her. while
So
she's pregnant. He's the one that convinced him that Obi-Wan Kenobi was evil. How? How, when Obi-Wan Kenobi had been nothing but been there for him, protected him since he was a freaking 5-year-old annoying little brat. He's the one that protected him while he was all emo kid in the second movie. He's the one that protected him and allowed him to see Amidala when not supposed to. And yet, all of a sudden, Emperor Palpatine comes in one freaking movie and turns him on everybody.
Because of the way they had acted the whole time.
All he did was take little bitty things and just blow it way out of proportion.
Yeah.
He's evil.
It happens.
He's evil. That's what makes the Empire evil. That's what makes Emperor Palpatine evil. Let's not go into the Empire, which we've already done, blowing up freaking a whole planet, Alderaan, building what's called a Death Star.
That would have no purpose whatsoever without the rebels.
Anyways, take your choice of who's right here. Let's get some interaction here. Tell me I'm right, and for each one of you that tells me I'm right, I will punch him in the eye.
No, he won't.
He will be on next week with a black eye.
No, he won't.
I'll punch him in the eye while he's sleeping. I know where he sleeps.
That's
All right.
cheating.
What's the quest for this week?
Quest for this week. Let's do. Tell us who you think is the worst character in Star Wars.
Yeah, and if you say it's an Ewok, I'm going to come punch you in the eye.
The Ewoks were awesome.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys. For Questline, I am Mousepad.
I'm Wade Wilson, and we will see you next week.